and Brad, the two most famous physical therapists on the internet.
Hi, I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical
And
therapist.
together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course, Bob.
Brad, today you want to talk about superset strengthening, why it's the best, why you're going to get strong like bull when you do it.
Well, Bob, actually, we went the quadriceps strengthening a couple weeks ago, had really good response on that, and people are requesting more strengthening exercises.
Nice.
Right, so...
We listen. If you ask,
absolutely,
we're going to listen.
You better believe it. So when it comes to weightlifting, I'm not a big weightlifter. I don't have the big barbells, but I understand that strengthening muscles, the benefits of it as far as...
Well, tell me your degree, Brad. I mean, your extra certification.
Certified strengthening and conditioning specialist,
Yes.
which I'm using my background from that along with physical therapy and injuries.
He's merging them together because that was quite an accomplishment, by the way, to get that. It's a lot of studying and a lot of work.
Right,
so.
yep. So what I was...
Talk about superset strengthening.
You lost my train of thought here. So supersets, what is it? Why is it good to do?
Right.
And for me, like I was saying, I don't go to where there's a lot of weights and get all strong like bull. I don't have time for that, Bob. I want to do something in my home.
Very efficient.
Very efficient and effective and safe.
And not every day. Wouldn't you agree to that? Or
Right.
I mean, I guess you could do something every day,
Right.
but a lot of the really heavy weightlifters are doing like one body part and then they won't do it again for 4 days.
Right.
And so
this is
more efficient.
More efficient. So what is it? Okay, the whole concept of supersets is you're going to work one muscle group, say your bicep, then you have to work the opposite. You got their antagonist and antagonist muscle
Right.
group. So we're going to get technical like that, but if I work my bicep, the opposite muscle is your tricep.
So we're balancing things out, if nothing else. For one thing, we're making sure we're getting both sides. Because
Right.
it's a real problem, especially when you get down to like the knee. If you're just strengthening the quadricep and not strengthening the hamstring, you're going to run into knee problems. If you're strengthening just the pecs.
Right, you want to get big pecs.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that as we give it in the next video. You don't want to be walking around like this, one of those people that just keep strengthening their pecs and they don't strengthen the muscles that pull them back into balance.
And it's going to cause side effects and injuries as far as impinged nerves, neck problems from poor posture. Okay.
Yeah, this is really important to balance things out and do it both sides.
And the time, this is what I really like. Where's my thing? If I'm working my biceps, you only do 10 or 15 reps. You got to give them time to rest before you do your second set. You can just sit there and take your time and think about something, or you can go work your triceps, the opposite muscle group, and while you're doing that, your biceps are literally resting because in the nervous system, when the agonist is working, the antagonist
Automatically relaxes.
Right, it has to, otherwise they'd be fighting each other.
Right. So it works out really well. And, you know, this is really that kind of high-intensity workouts, Brad, that they're finding it really helps with weight loss.
Right.
And actually even get some cardiovascular. And,
Sure.
I mean, there's all these other benefits for doing these, doing one and then doing the other one right away.
You might get your heart rate up to cardiovascular, but with weightlifting, maybe that's pushing it a little bit. But anyways, so what was the other thing I want to talk about? Efficient time, less...
Little space, and these are very portable if you were using these.
Right, yeah. I really like the bands.
Yeah.
Okay, I know in the therapy, if you go to therapy, we use TheraBand. It's like a band.
Right.
And that's good for short term. They don't last real long and they wear out. These are much sturdier and they're great. You get the handles on them here and they're super.
I literally think everybody should own some of these.
Yeah,
I mean,
if you want to do some strengthening, it's
even
it's
if
good
you're a
investment.
heavy weightlifter, you should have some of these for the postural muscles.
Right.
I mean,
now we're going to show on another video how to do the supersets for the arm, the tricep, bicep, and the pecs and the posterior muscles, the muscles on your back. But there's other ways to do supersets. Okay, if you want to work your legs, quadriceps, like you mentioned before, and the hamstrings.
Yep. You got to have them balanced out.
Right.
A lot of people don't do the hamstring enough.
And how are you going to do that, if you don't have a machine for hamstring curls, or you don't have a machine for squats, or for the longer
much you're going to tell us?
Yeah, and you don't have to spend more than $20 to $30.
All right, Lonnie, you're up. No, Lonnie.
The ball, don't turn it off.
Lonnie was going to turn us off. All right.
Okay, so How are we going to get
You want to do hamstring
get a
first or quad?
superset with this hamstring and quad? You want to
Okay.
do it?
What am I doing? Hamstring?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bob, have you been doing these at
Yes,
home?
I have been doing
Oh,
these
great.
at home.
Okay.
So you can start off, I mean, if you're not very strong at these, you can just start doing these.
And push in
Yeah,
on the
pushing
ball.
down on the ball. My wife's doing this part because she has a torn hamstring.
Okay.
So she's just trying to get some.
Right.
And then, of course, you can go to 1 foot.
Yep. It works a little harder.
It works a little bit harder.
That's good for an injury because
Yeah,
you
or
may
if you
wanna
put one on
focus.
top of the other. But the way I do it, of course, is I start getting a little core strengthening and also make it harder is I lift up like this and I
with the butt.
go back and forth like this.
Now, one thing I'm going to say to Bob is, and we're kind of short a table here, but make sure you get the full range of
Right.
motion. So go ahead, Bob. If the ball rolls off the edge, you'll just fall. I don't care. There you go. Try and
I'm
straighten.
glad he doesn't care.
Get the knees as straight as you can. Can you straighten them out more, Bob? You don't have them straight. Fully.
Oh, like this
There
you mean,
go.
okay.
Good. Straighten them out, full extension. There you go. That's another important thing about supersets or any weightlifting, and you see this done wrong all the time, is they don't go through the full range of motion of the joint, and you
And you know what? That's interesting because I wasn't doing the full range because
Right.
nobody was watching me and telling me that
Right.
I didn't know what you were talking about.
That's why
even.
there's mirrors in the gym, so
Yeah.
you can look at yourself, not just to see, look at the girls
Right.
and look at your pretty body, but to see that you're doing things properly.
Sure.
Okay?
I'm not going to show any advanced ones on this like you were doing.
No.
That's fine.
That's
right?
all hamstring, but now
Yeah.
we got to do the opposite to make this a superset.
Right.
Okay?
Lonnie, can you come on over? You got him?
Can you get this, Lonnie? Okay. I like this one because for people, if you have any back problems, it's great for helping the back versus squats. It's easy to do this. Just get your feet out from the wall, about 2.5 feet.
Because
Get
one
your-
thing what we're trying to prevent always when we do this, right, Brad, is we
Right.
don't want the knee to go past the foot.
Right. That's why if you learn strengthening from us, we're going to teach you how to do it right to minimize injuries.
Right.
Okay? And,
So you see the knee doesn't even get close to the foot.
right, if I did it here,
Now it's hitting.
now I'm stressing that patella
Right.
and that knee joint.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to work here, good posture, down, not more than a 90-degree bend in the knee. And this is another point, Bob. I've been in arguments with weightlifters, and they say, oh, you need to do a squat all the way down.
Right.
So you get,
Absolutely not.
and the point they're making, this gentleman made to me, you get all the fibers working, you get more range of motion throughout the more strength throughout the range of motion, which is true, but you're sacrificing and putting stress on your knees and your low back.
There's no way you can stop your back from rounding out when you get that far down,
Right.
and you are putting a heck of a lot of stress on
Right.
it.
And by the way, he had a knee injury at the time, but I couldn't convince him that
Right.
maybe he was squatting too low.
You know, and the thing is, if you can't do something because you are injured, what good is it to be that you strengthen the entire leg, or the entire quad if you can't do it anymore?
Right.
To us, it's all about longevity and being able to continue to do this, well into your 70s and 80s.
Now this looks easy,
It's not.
but my quads, I can
Yeah.
feel specifically are burning. Now we're going to talk about number of sets. If you want to get larger muscles, 8 to 12 repetitions. I'm number 11 and 12. Now to make the superset, it's time for me to go over here. You don't have to take time to rest. Quads are tired, and now it's time to rest the quads. And I'm going to work my hamstrings, try to get full range of motion all the way up. You got to be careful on this one. If you get a cramp in your hamstring, then you got to stretch it out. What number am I on, Bob? Are you talking?
I think that was 4. If you don't count, you have to start all over again.
Oh,
in the
geez.
physical therapy world.
Okay, well, let's say I'm going to say this is 12, even though I lost count.
Sure.
Then I'm not just going to do one set, but I like to do 3 sets. 3 sets of 10 or 12. And now my hamstrings are resting and my quads are going back to work. And you can see how this is much more time efficient.
And I'm going to disagree with you a little bit, Brad, too. Because
Okay.
earlier on, I know you looked at me like when I said this is cardiovascular,
Yeah.
and the old school of thought was it was not. But the new studies are showing that it is. When you're going back and forth
If you
like
can
this,
get your heart rate up to the proper
Yeah.
level, it is. But if you measure your heart rate, I
And
don't
it's
know if you're
not.
going to do that.
Yeah.
You might. I don't know.
I think the
I
new
guess we
studies,
could test it.
the new studies are showing. But when you're going back and forth like this, you're getting some cardiovascular.
your heart rate has to be certain 80%, Bob.
Yeah.
It's not cardiovascular because you're breathing hard. You got to have a certain
All
heart
right.
rate.
We're going to have the experts weigh in on this. Our first online fight.
Yeah, yeah. But it is interesting because there's going to be different
Opinions on that.
opinions,
Yeah.
and there's depending on what you read, your experiences, and that's time
But
for me
definitely
to go over
helps
here.
you. Definitely helps you lose weight.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that.
And
Because you're building strength and you're
you know,
burning calories.
I'm trying to think. I'm 55 years old. 220 minus 55. What does that equal, Bob?
220 minus what?
220
55?
minus
Are you
55.
going to make me do this on air?
Yes.
Lonnie?
165.
165.
So if
Maybe 175? 165.
if I check my heart, I'm just thinking about it because I am getting tired and my heart rate's going up, but I don't know if I'm technically aerobic or not and getting that cardiovascular
I don't know if
benefit.
that's. I don't know if those. I think that might be your old school training. But we'll look up into this.
I
and we'll
think
talk to
we
you
need
about
some
this.
feedback from people out there.
Yeah.
Give us some feedback
All right.
on that.
Thanks for watching. Watch our next ones on the bicep, tricep, and the pec in the back.
Oh, that's right. Then you're going to get strong like bull.
There we go. There's the bull.